So we got Johnny Fischer, Dave Allen 2 this weekend. I don't know. Let's see. I might go. I might go to the fight. I might give a text to some of the guys and just get me in. Let's wait and see on that one because I don't live too far from the Copper Box, which is where they're having this fight. And to be honest, I'm quite surprised. Although the Copper Box, if you've ever been in it, it's a great little venue. I say little; it's not even that small. It looks small on TV. When you've been in it, it's actually big enough. It's not like the OVO Arena. It's not like the O2, but like it's not small at the same time. It's a good in between. It really is. So if you're going to the Copper Box, you're gonna have a good time. You're gonna have a good time. There's really good seating around there, so you'll see plenty of action. I genuinely did think they would do this in the O2 because I thought that the O2 is not a million miles away from the Copper Box. It's not. Speaking from someone who lives in East London, I know it's not a million miles away. Really isn't. So I thought they might be able to get, obviously not a full house in the O2, but they could at least do really, really good numbers. I'm surprised they're doing it in the Copper Box. But again, saying that, it'll still be a good atmosphere. In terms of this fight itself, let's just talk very briefly and have a look there on screen. If you actually want to see this fight live on the Zone, my link will be pinned in the comment section, not even the description, the comment section. And you can go watch this fight. It'll be on the Zone. Have a look at what they have on there. They've got some people the Zone have, like they are literally the global home of boxing. They genuinely are. I mean, you never mind all those others. It's the Zone, man. That's where you want to get it. That's where you want to go and have a look. So link will be pinned in the comment section. Let's talk about the undercard very briefly before I talk about this fight. You have the likes of John Hedges, George Lillard on there. I like the fact Kieran Conway is on there. I haven't seen Kieran Conway in a while. He's fighting for the vacant British middleweight title as Denzel Bentley vacated. I didn't know that actually. Denzel Bentley must have vacated the British middleweight title. Must be looking to go world title honours. Kieran Conway is a formidable middleweight. He was absolutely, I don't know how he ever made 154. I really don't. He was a unit at 154. So, and I imagine he's going to be a very good middleweight. He's a very good fighter is Kieran Conway. Very good fighter. So that's the undercard pretty much. It's really the main event in Johnny Fischer, Dave Allen we got to discuss here. And I'm going to give my 2 cents on this. Listen, the first fight, I'm not going to lie, I didn't expect as good a fight as we got. I was kind of thinking that we would get the same old Dave Allen, who doesn't really throw a lot of punches. He goes into kind of sparring partner mode, and the question is whether he has the gas tank in him to go the rounds, or if maybe he'll take a few shots and decide, what, where's my payday, and that's it, because he's been pulled out of fights. Some of them he rightfully so, he should have been pulled out, like David Price. Others, like against Fraser Clark, you're thinking, really, could you have gone on? Maybe. So that's really what you're dealing with Dave Allen. Although, having said that, Allen has lost to guys, with maybe the exception of Lenroy Thomas, who've all been substantially better than him. It's not even been a case if they've just been prospects on the come up. They've been substantially better than him. And maybe you could say Fraser Clark as well, but I would take Fraser Clark every day of the week over Johnny Fischer, quite frankly. If you look at the guys he's been in there with, Dylan White didn't stop him. Luis Ortiz, and that was Luis Ortiz at the time. He was seen as kind of a bit like Martin Piccoli was seen at one stage, the boogeyman, the real King Kong, which is what used to be known as, of the division. He fought and he took a horrendous beating against Tony Oka in France. He took that fight on a couple of weeks' notice. It was a horrific beating he took, awful. Probably the worst. Seriously, when I look back, some of the beatings, I shouldn't laugh, but I mean, the Luis Ortiz fight, I think he had his tongue cut. You got beaten in that fight. The Tony Oka fight was probably the worst. That or the David Price fight, because against Oka, he took a horrendous beat. He actually talked about it briefly on his channel. Yeah, he even said he wasn't right after for a while in that fight. And shockingly, they let him fight Nick Webb, about 6 weeks after. Really shouldn't have been in the ring, but he was. And yeah, he was taking a few shots in that fight as well before he actually stopped Nick Webb. That was a great undercard. That was on the undercard of Derek Chisora. Not Derek. Well, Derek Chisora did fight on the undercard, but it was on the undercard of Dylan White, Joseph Parker. Chisora fought Taka. And then obviously he fought David Price. Took a big beating, horrible beating in that fight, really bad. Retired. Well, I had a couple of fights and then retired. And since then it's just been kind of, I don't want to say a victory lap, that's the wrong word, but he's just been kind of sporadic appearances by Dave Allen. Against Johnny Fischer, I thought he'd lose. I thought Fischer would have enough in the tank to probably win it on points, maybe put a dent in him, depending on how Dave Allen was. And For the first couple of rounds, it seemed it was going to go that way, and then Dave Allen found a gear, and was able to drop Johnny Fischer very heavily and hurt him quite bad. And from then on, I mean, Johnny Fischer, I've always questioned his gas tank. I remember he fought or No Hope or back in the day. It might have been on one of AJ's undercards. I think it was in the O2. I can't remember the exact card it was on. But I think he dropped the guy early in round 1 or round 2, and he emptied the kitchen sink on him. And like, he needed rounds to recover after that. Like, rounds and rounds. So I always questioned how good is the gas tank of Johnny Fischer. He puts a lot into his punches. There's not a lot of coordination. There's not a lot of technique to fall back on. And he's not got the boxing, ability to be able to just stick and move and stick a jab on you and just move around the ring like David Price did with Dave Allen. So as he fatigued and was obviously hurt, Dave Allen came more into the fight. And Dave Allen has a lot of respect for Johnny Fischer. I think he's respect for his dad as well. And I said it at the time about this fight, the first time, that it almost seemed to me as though Dave Allen was so in control, he didn't want to actually hurt Johnny Fischer any worse than he did. And I know that sounds weird, but when you go back and watch it, and you watch it live as well, there was moments in that fight where Johnny Fischer's lack of coordination, his lack of defense was so apparent that he was leaving himself in punching range for a big overhand right, which Dave Allen loves to throw. And Dave Allen, I'm kidding you not, if you go and look at it, there was times after round 5 where the right hand was there, throw it to the head, and Allen would throw it to the body. And I'm convinced he knew, I've got the beating of this guy. I don't want to knock him out. I'll just win this fight on points. Big mistake, because he should have won the fight, but he didn't. They gave it to Johnny Fischer. I think it was the incorrect decision, quite frankly. Many others do as well. And I think he maybe lived to regret not throwing that right hand more to the head, because it was there for him, an unbelievable amount. It really was. Johnny Fischer Sr. threw his toys out of the pram when he was, questioned by people like Gareth A. Davis. Say what you want to say about Gareth A. Davis, but Gareth A. Davis is entitled to his opinion, and he felt that Johnny Fischer lost the fight, and now he's banned from Johnny Fischer Sr.'s house. I mean, is that a bad thing, Gareth A. Davis? Really? I mean, a guy who eats Chinese is eating himself to death and says bosh all the time. I mean, yeah, that's top-notch entertainment right there. But in reality, I think the ego of a lot of them was hurt. Going into this fight, I wonder will Dave Allen... See, Dave Allen can say what he wants to say, and his YouTube channel is very good about being motivated, this, that, and the other. He turned up the first fight in not amazing shape, good enough, but, he had ample notice. He's got ample notice again. If he turns up in bad shape again, sorry, but this is going to be repeat. And I think legit repeat this time. I don't think it's going to be a case of repeat, oh my God, how did they not give it to Dave Allen? No, I think it's going to be legit this time. I think Johnny Fischer will improve. I think, how many rounds is it scheduled for, actually? 10 rounds. Okay, thank God for Johnny Fischer, because if it was scheduled for 12, I would be probably changing that pick, to be honest with you. No, I think he'll be more switched on this time. He'll be more wary of his gas tank. He'll know, you're not going to stop this guy. As I said, he's been in there with big punters. None of them have put a dent in him. They put a dent in him, but they haven't been able to drop him. I mean, you think you're going to do it. You're not Luis Ortiz. You're not David Price. David Price was David Price was one of the biggest punters in the division when he was fighting, and he couldn't put a dent in him. So, man, you ain't David Price, Johnny Fischer, no offense, in terms of punching power anyway. So I don't think he's going to be able to do that to Dave Allen. I think it's just going to be a Johnny Fischer keeping it long range, keeping it on the outside, watch your gas tank. And it probably won't be as good a fight as the first fight. It'll probably be a more lively atmosphere because of where it is. The first fight was in Saudi, obviously. But I don't think it's going to be as good a fight. But that's the worry, because if the crowd are getting restless and they're getting lively, I worry about Johnny Fischer. Could he do something stupid and end up getting caught with something he won't be able to recover from this time? But ultimately, I think he's going to win this fight on points. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Johnny Fischer, Dave Allen 2. I do look forward to it. If I don't go to the fight, I'll probably do a watch along, because I think it deserves it. So I will do a watch along. I don't like doing watch alongs in this flat because it's awkward, but I will try and do one. I'll do a short one for this fight if I don't go to it myself. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed it, people. Smash the like button if you could. Subscribe as always if you haven't already. Till next time, peace.